too sharp. Okay, so in this video we're showing how to edit pictures using the frequency separation method. Like I said earlier, frequency separation means you are separating a particular picture into two layers. One layer contains texture, the other one contains color. The one that contains color is the low layer, low frequency layer. The one that contains texture is the what? A high frequency layer. Just the way it is. High is above, low is under, right? That's the way. That's what we're gonna do. So it has some series of steps that you have to follow. So let's get started. Okay. Also, like I said the skin has two components. Skin has color. If I ask the color of my skin, some of you said I'm black. I'm not black. I'm orange or chocolate or brown, right? But the texture is what? Smooth or rough, right? So let's start. Remember, there are steps you have to follow. Same way you press something on your camera to change ISO, same way you press something else to change aperture and shutter speed. Same thing applies here. So there are the steps that you must follow when you're trying to do it. Now let's go. So first step, duplicate this background twice. To duplicate, you can right click here, duplicate layer. You duplicate again. I said you duplicate twice, right? Duplicate twice. So can you see I have the background, but I have the ones that I've duplicated. The idea is the first one you duplicated, the one under, change it to low frequency. Right? The one above, you change it to what? High frequency. Are you following me? Now, once you've done that, turn off your high frequency. Remember I told you, any layer you're working on Photoshop, you have to make sure you have clicked on that layer. So click on low frequency. That's what we want to quickly work on now. Click on low frequency. Go to filter in your menu bar. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Change the value to 6.4. That means you're blurring that picture a little bit. You get this. Are you following me? Now, go to high frequency.
They add the number, they add
the blur, of course, yes. Okay. Go to high frequency, enable it. Make sure you have clicked on the high frequency. Go to image in the menu bar. Then click on apply image towards the down part. When you get to apply image and this window opens, you are changing 4 things here. Number 1, you are changing layer. Number 1, layer, change it from merged, change it to what? Low frequency. Blending mode, change it from whatever it is, change it to subtract. Mine is here because I've already used it before. Change it to subtract. That's the second thing you're changing. Third thing, change scale from whatever it is, change it to 2. Offset, change it from whatever it is to 128. I have done it before. That is why it is showing like this. Are you getting me? 4 things here. Changing layer to low frequency, blending mode to subtract, scale to 2, offset to 128. Remember, they are the steps you have to follow, right? Once you do this like 3 times, you remember all these values. Are you following me? Okay. Once you do that, you press OK. This picture turns gray like this. You are on the right path. Are you following me? Now, here too will be grayish. You know, this is a preview of what is happening here, right? Now, once you're done, come to this. You are still on high frequency. Go to that high frequency. Just above this high frequency, where you see lock, click on normal. Change that normal to linear light. You can press enter to make it, to set that value. That's the first. It's like you are in primary 1. That's primary 1 or SS1. You are done with SS1. You are going to SS2 now, next level, right? But that's the starting point. It's quite easy. This is where it gets a bit tricky now. Okay, after that, you know I told you if you want to select anything, you zoom in very well, right? So you can get the edges very well. Okay, so now, like I told you, I always like to choose pictures that have details. That you can see the texture, the skin pores, all those holes where they did the skin. You must be able to see it in your picture. It makes your work look very okay. So now, after we're done with SS1, we're going to SS2 now. SS2 starts now. You come back to low frequency. you know how to use Lasso Tool already, correct? You click Lasso Tool here, not polygonal, Lasso Tool. If yours is not showing, long press or click this little arrow here, then you choose Lasso Tool. Before you start selecting the face or the part of the skin, change your feather. Feather means how soft the edge of your selection is. Somebody asked that question before, so let me show you what that feathering, what it means. If my feather is like 0.2 or 0.0, look at, if I try to select this girl, I want to show you feather. It's not part of this process. I just want to quickly show you that feather. If I select a part of her skin, for instance, like this, can you see my selection? Can you see the edges? Are you noticing? If I try to change any color or anything from here, I need to move it away so that this thing doesn't block me. Okay, so if I try to change anything from here, what is my selection? What I selected just now. Okay, still there. So if I try to change anything from here, let's say I want to change the color of that part. I just want to show you so that you just quickly see what I'm trying to talk about. And I change the color of her skin. Can you see the edges of my selection? How sharp the edges are. I'm going to do another one, and I'll change the feather so you can understand what I'm trying to explain. So if I want to make another selection and I change feather to like 12, I'll select another part. If I try to change the color again now, see what's going to happen. I have feather 12 now. Remember, this is not part of the process. It's for you to understand how feathering works. So if I change that, can you see the edge? Can you see the difference? That is what feathering does to your pictures. So we're going back.
The higher the number of the feather,
the softer the edges, yes. Okay, so back to where we were. So we're coming to Lasso Tool, right? Now, you need to pay attention here. Anytime you are selecting the body, you are only working on the skin. Skin retouching. That's why they call that process that. Skin retouching. You're only touching or working on the skin. My lip is not part of the skin. My eyes, not part of the skin. My brows, they are not part of the skin. Beards are not part of the skin. Are you following me? But all these places, they are what? Part of the skin. All these places. My dress is not part of the skin. My hair is not part of the skin. So anytime I'm making selection, I'm only selecting the skin parts. Does it make sense? Now see my selections. And anytime you're selecting, look at me. You are selecting like this. Here. 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 Are you guys seeing it? You're not selecting like this. Only the parts of the face. I'm going to show you now. So I come to Lasso Tool. I click on, I have my Lasso Tool selected. My feather is already on 12. I can use 12 for this. It's okay for me. I am on low frequency, remember. Now, then I continue. Now, look at my selection. I am not going too close to the air. Are you guys following me? Make sure you don't go close to any part that is not what? Air. That is not skin, rather. When I've selected this, can you see I did not select the whole face? Only forehead. Then I go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Okay. I can now increase my value to as high as I want, so far it does not spoil my pictures. 30. Can you see it brings some level of smooth? Let me return to 0. See the face. Are you following me? Look at the change that's going to happen now. If I move it to like 30. Did you notice any change? Yes. Is the picture looking fine now? Yes, and we're not even done yet. So, 40. Let's see. You will know when it is too much. It will start looking somehow. Look at it. Let me move it to like extreme. See. It's too much. Some people used to do this. Some people will overdo it. You will know now. You will see it when you look at it. So, I can use, because this picture is a close-up picture, I can use 40. But the moment your picture is no longer close-up, maybe it's mid, your value cannot be as high as this, bear in mind. If it's full, that means you can't even use all these 20-something. You have to use very little. But if it's very close-up, you can raise it as much as you want. So let's continue. I think this is okay for me. I click OK. I am done with the forehead. I can do the cheek now. I'll go to the cheek again. Can you see I'm avoiding going close to any part that has hair. Likewise, I'm going to explain something now. Okay, let me do this and I'm going to explain something. Can you see I did not select the nose? If you select the nose, I'll do it here. You see what's going to happen. It will flatten the nose of the person. It will start looking fake. Can you see the way I'm selecting? I go to the same process again. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I'll keep doing it for every part of the skin. Can you see what has happened to our face? Is it not well blended now? We're not even done. I'm already getting this. I can use the same value. If it's not enough, I can increase a little. It doesn't have to be same value for everywhere. Are you following me? Look at this. So I click OK. I come to this side again. Try to do something again here. Look at this. I go to filter again. Blur, Gaussian blur. One more time. This is too much now. Can you see that it's too much? Do you notice? Let me return it to 0. Look at the way it is. This place is as bright as the other part. But the moment you are noticing that that place is darker, you are in trouble. You have to go back. So I can't use that 40 that I used for the other places. The picture will get darker. It's looking darker. So I have to reduce it. You always see it. Can you see? Then I come here again. That one is too close to the lips. If I apply it, see what's going to happen. It's too close to the lips. It will start bringing the color of that lips into my skin, and I don't want that. Look at this. If I increase the value a little bit, red will start entering the skin, and it is wrong. So it's either I reduce it, or I select again, and I don't move it close to the lips. Are you guys following me? All I am trying to make you do is understand what goes on. The steps, you see the video, you watch the video, you'll be able to do it again. It's what you are practicing. It's part of practice. Now look at this again. I go to filter, blur. So I didn't move close to the lips this time around. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Then you continue for every part of the skin that you can see. Some parts are not necessary. Who can tell me the parts I have not touched yet, right now? The nose is deliberate. I always touch the nose last. I said lips is not part of the skin. No. I already said it. No. Like the parts I ought to touch, but I have not touched. I'll come here. Try to do the same thing here. Can you see the way I'm selecting? I'm not selecting everything at once. You have to do it in batches. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur again. Then I'll reduce my value because the place I'm selecting is very small. I'll reduce it. I don't want it to be too much because I'm selecting a very small area. Okay, come here again. So what we are trying to do, you notice we are trying to blend the skin tones. That's what we are basically trying to do in low frequency. You notice we're dealing with color actually. We've not touched texture. Have we removed any pimple? No. But all those contour, all those whatever, that's what we've been working on so far. That's low frequency for you. So this, anytime I want to touch nose, I touch nose last. I'm already used to it. Because sometimes you don't even need to touch it at all. And if I want to touch it, look at how I'm going to do it. If I want to touch this middle part now, this is how I touch the nose. I will make it very tiny. You know that highlight part on the nose? That's the only part I touch on the nose. That middle part. That light is falling. Excuse me, the light is falling on. That's the only part I touch on the nose. And my value will be very small. Look at what's going to happen if my value is too much. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And I use all those 20-something I've been using before. It will make that nose flat. Let me use that 40. Look at what we're going to have. It's spoiled, like it's spoiled already. So most times I touch the nose last. I'll undo Ctrl Z, will undo for your Command Z on your keyboard. So I always touch it last. If need be for me to touch it. Then I come here again, try to do the same. I won't move it too close to the lips. Because if I move it too close, it's going to spoil that part. So I'll try again. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur again. 41 is too much.
Gaussian blur.
Yes, that's what we've been using since. So, I have not done this side, if you remember. I deliberately omitted it, so I'll do it again now. Filter, blur. After doing one side, you can still go back in case you don't get what you want. You can still go back and do more on that same place. So, now remember, I did not go too close to this air. Remember, I left all these places, right? But I did there. So what will I do now? I can easily go back again. Try to do this part. I will now reduce my value very well. Watch. Now I told you not to select air. I'm not selecting air, but I need that skin part so that it can blend. So I'm going to go back and try to blend it. So my value will be very small now. This is too much, 36. But it's a bit blended, but it's affecting here. This is looking black. This side is looking black. So I'm going to reduce it. The moment I get something okay, I'm going to stop. I think I can manage this. Click OK. Are you following me? Now, the other parts, I can now begin to go closer to them, like this one now. Because I need everything to be well blended. Filter, my value will have to be very small. I can't use all those big values that I've been using since. Sometimes you don't even need to touch this if the makeup artist has done a great job. That's why anytime you see makeup artists working on your model's face, if you notice that makeup artist did not do one part, you go and meet her. Please help me to add small thing here. Help me to correct. Help me to add small thing. Help me to remove this place more because now you go suffer around if you edit. Same thing I tell you that when you're shooting, if something is not right, remove it from there. Don't wait till editing. Are you following me? So this is okay. I'll look for other parts on this face. Look at the neck now. I can do the same thing here. Can you see I did not select like this. I didn't select like this. Right? I didn't do that. I separated those parts. So if I'm selecting the neck, I'm going to come like this. It's still the same principle. Don't go too close to the dress. Else, it's going to bring in that black. Should I show you an example? See the example here. Let's say, or let me even start from here. Let's say I do this. And I'm coming like this. You see it's not on the shirt, right? But look at what's going to happen. And I come to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And I use, let's say, that 30 that I've been using since. Can you see? Black has entered the skin. This place is already flat. Do you see the difference? Can you see? Many people, they always do this thing, but they don't know the secrets. Don't ever go too close. Can you see what happened? Let me undo for you. Control Z. So what will I do? This is the right way to do it. Come here. Don't go too close. It's very important for you. You end up getting nice results if you don't go too close. Any part that has no skin, don't go too close to them. So even at that 36, because I did not go too close, it is still okay for me. And I can reduce a little if it's too much. I can reduce a little more. This is okay for me. Can you see? It is still normal, actually. Are you guys following me? Look at this. Now, we're not even done, but is the picture not looking better? Let's do before after. So I can group these two folders, these two layers. Control will allow you to select many layers, right? For the nose, yeah, I said I would. Sometimes I don't even touch it at all. Because the more you touch, you're spoiling the pictures the more. So let me group so that you can even see before and after, where we started from and where we are right now. Okay? Click one, then Command or Control to allow you to select many layers. Same way we do in, you understand what I'm talking about, right? Okay. When I have selected two of them, there is group at this lower part. This lower part, this is group. Create a new group. I've selected two of them. Once I click this, it will put two of them in a new group. The reason why I'm grouping is so that it will be easy for me to show you before and after. So I can easily turn this. You know, we didn't touch this first layer at all, right? So look at the difference. And we're not yet through. Is it making sense? See the forehead. It's not magic. It's not magic, actually. See the forehead. So where you now be wondering, what are we going to do in high frequency? That is where you now start removing pimple. Huh? No, I'm the one putting it on and off. You know, if they were not in a group, that means I would disable high, disable low. It's stressful for me. So that's why I put them in a group. So if I press this arrow, it will show me the remaining, the groups that are inside that group. I mean, the layers that are inside the group.
Now, what if there are like 3 pictures in the group?
It's still the same. You can easily turn it on and off. So if I want to do it separately, see now. Separately. But I can easily just move group like this. Or like this. It's still the same. Now. Yeah, when I ask something. Okay.
The first Lasso Tool you use, you feather it, but the rest, like, you're not feathering it.
Yeah, because the feather is still there. See, if I go back to Lasso, the feather, it will remain there. So far, you've not restarted your system or you've not changed it, so still remain there. That's why. So it's good not to use too high feather. If you use too high, there will be some places that feather will not work. So don't overdo it. Okay, so now you'll be wondering, what are we then going to do on high frequency layer, right? This is what we're going to do. So we're going to come here. Remember I said high frequency is for what? Texture. So anything that is not, anything that is attributed to texture, that is what happens on high frequency. Like pimple. If one hair just did anywhere, it's part of texture because it's falling on the skin. So now, look at this. Or spot or pimple or anything. Look at this now. It's good to always zoom in. What do you now use when you're on high frequency? You know we're on high frequency now. You now use clone stamp tool. I taught you how to use clone stamp tool already. Okay. So clone stamp tool is this one. It has a shortcut. S is the shortcut on your keyboard. Now you can change the value before starting. For clone stamp tool, don't use anything beyond 20. Sometimes I use 10, but don't use beyond what? Anything higher than 20, don't use it. Check your laptop. Some laptops may not select current layer. Choose what? Current layer from there. In case it's not set, leave these other values intact. You see it in the video at the end of the day. Now, look out. You know how to use clone stamp already. Alt click a good area, then click on a bad area to replace. Alt click. So I'm going to alt click a good area. Let's say I want to remove this one. I'll alt click a good part, right? Come here, click on it. It's going to go away. If I want to remove this dot here, alt click a good area, come on that dot, click on it, to go. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. Don't make your size too big. If it's too big, see what's going to happen. Let's say it's too big like this now, and you want to do it. It will remove texture from the picture. Look at this. If I try this, and I'm doing this, it will get to a point, it will spoil that picture. Look at this. It will remove texture from it. The picture will start looking funny. Are you getting me? So I will undo this. Somebody wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, you said that if you are doing this, you should do it very close to
yes. So if I want to replace anything here, I'll pick from surrounding area. I won't come here to pick and come here. It's too far. Choose from surrounding area. So if I want to remove this air now, look at this. I'll alt click a good part which is here. Remember you're on high frequency. Because it's a line, I can reduce it, zoom in very well. It's better you even zoom in. Can you see my size is 15? So because the air is very thin, I'll alt click a good part. Because it's a line, I'll stop again. Again. Can you see? It is because it is a line. That is what I'm dragging it. Are you guys following me? It is because what? It is a line. Normally you should not drag, but because that is a line, I can do that. Likewise all these ones. Then I continue to do the same thing over. This is a line. This is introduction. What did I call it? Introduction. This one is even still small. There's still other levels. That's why you need to work hard. If I say you should do something and you don't do it, you are lagging behind, you are affecting yourself, your money is wasting. Are you following me? So I'm going to do this faster now. Because I'm already used to it. Are you getting me? But it's still the same thing I'm doing. I'm clicking a good part, using it to cover bad parts. Can you see I'm not dragging? I'm alt clicking a good part, using it to cover a bad part. These are skin pores. You are not meant to remove them. It makes your skin beautiful. You're not meant to remove them, except things that you do not want. Are you guys following me? So you continue. So we have to look for the bad parts that are not okay, like here now. Alt click. This will go away. Are you seeing it? Because they are lines. These are lines. Then this is a spot. It's a line. If your brush size is too big, your work will look funny. Your work is going to look somehow. Look at here now. Can you see? Can you see this? This one too? Why is it hanging? Okay, I have not shut down. Okay, can you see? To keep removing those dots. Now, you see this wrinkle, or what do they call it? Eye bag or wrinkles or something. They are lines, right? This one's here. This one has made a mistake, so I can go back and cover it up. Why is it dragging? Anyway, I'll check again. But you keep doing this to remove anything that has spots. You know, I'm not through here, but I want to go to that lower part to show you something. Okay. Now, here now, if I want to do it, what do I do? Because it's a line, right? I can easily... I can continue. Just the same way I did for the egg. Can you see it's going? Are you following me? But for the spots, just click. Alt click and place on it. It's going to go away. Then continue. Then continue. Then check the other parts. Here now has to go, right? Are you seeing it? Has to go. Then you continue. This one has not done well. Go back and try again. Yeah, it's better now. Then you continue for the dots. You need to get rid of the dots. So this is where it gets time consuming. You keep doing to make sure you have your results. Anything that's not like skin pore, come out. You understand? Make sure your brush size is small, though. Please don't make it too big. It's very, very important. Then you continue. But let's even look at how far we have come. Can you see? It did not even look like we did anything to our skin because we zoomed in very well. If you don't zoom in, you have to put it in effect. Zoom in, use a small brush size. It's always very, very important. Use a small brush size. Let's compare before after. And we are not even through yet. This is frequency separation. So you continue till you are done removing every spot that is noticeable to the eyes. We're meant to come here, right? So you continue this, remove these ones. This one is part of the skin. It's not like pimple or anything. So you can just do a little. Sometimes you don't even need to touch it. Then you check here if there is anything you want to do here. Then these ones too, you can do something here. I'll go back to my clone stamp. If you can't see it, that's because you've not separated the layer, the group. So click that arrow. Make sure you are on that layer that you're working on. Use my clone stamp again. Come here. Can you see it's gone? Then when you're done, you can easily save your work. You know how to save already. So, can you see that nose? There's still a little one here. Don't overdo it. That's what I always tell people. Some people, they used to overdo this thing. Now skin, make it still dey real. Some people do remove all the texture from the skin. Then what is remaining? Only color. You shouldn't overdo it. It's very, very important. It's very, very. If I show you some before and after of this process, I think I can stop the video now, since it's just the same thing that we're trying to do. This is even still, they're still on that advanced level, so we still get that. Are you following? But you need to practice. So you guys should copy these pictures. I'm going to put the pictures here now. Copy these pictures. Try them out. 5 pictures for Tuesday. There are many videos on this frequency separation on that channel, that will be on YouTube channel. Check them. Plenty. I've done plenty. If I show you some before and after, I think let me stop the video. So that's all about the video. See you in the next one. 30 minutes.